I see you, Antoinette, shaking your head. Just a specific mastermind on a content calendar. What a content calendar means to me, because again, mine may be a little bit different than
I see
yours.
you, Antoinette, shaking your head. Just a specific mastermind.
Are we good?
Yeah. Sorry.
That was weird. I was like, oh, someone else sees her
No, it's
shaking
just
her head. And I was like, that's my voice.
the feedback. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. And so I wanted to do today on having a content calendar, what a content calendar is, and how you can make it work for you and your business. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen today, and I will share with you guys what my content calendar looks like and how I create it. So share. Awesome. So you all should be able, let me just move all of these little controls out of here over to my other one. So you all should be able to see my screen now. So thumbs up if you can see it, or just a nod or a yes, we see it. I don't know, whatever works for you guys. I would assume it's there. Yes? Anyone?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, great. Sorry, I didn't have the chat up. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So number one step for a content calendar, you see I've got a ton of things in here, but we've got to start with what goes into your content calendar. So I call them your love buckets. What are your love buckets that for your business? What is it that you want to put out into whatever social media platform it is you're using so that you have engagement, you are giving value, and people are really seeking you out, right? Because as I talked before, we really want people to be seeking you out, which is going to make it easier to grow your business. If they're seeking you out, if they see you as someone that they know, like, and trust, they're going to follow you and they're going to want to follow things. So what is it to you that you want to put out to the universe so that you get back, right? So for me, for those that do follow me, especially on Facebook, I am on year 3 of every single day doing a tip of the day. I have not veered away from that, no matter what's going on in my life. It's there every single day. I do a tip of the day for you guys. So that drives, right? So that kind of drives my love bucket. So you'll see here, I've got inspirational quotes, marketing tips, Facebook Lives. So my Facebook Lives are always around something to grow an online business, what you can do to grow an online business. I'll be doing one today, and my topic is today is the 3 things you must do for yourself in order to continue to grow an online business. So I'll do that later today. And then always personal posts, because people they want to know who I am, right? So I put out personal posts recently. I put out one that got a ton of engagement on it about my weight loss. Well, for those of you that know, how did I lose weight? Thank you, 3, so it kind of rolls all into that. And then you'll see my Saturdays are product related. I had someone come to me the other day and said, I don't see you posting a lot of product stuff. And I'm like, correct, because I work with the 80-20, right? So product is in there, but it's not all I'm working with. So my buckets and engaging questions, right? To build that engagement, to keep the algorithms going. So my love buckets are giving to people, right? So giving out things I've already learned, right? Like posting out inspirational quotes, marketing tips that I've learned, product information that I think will help my followers and stuff. So those are my buckets. So the number one thing is you need to find out what your buckets are. I would suggest 4 buckets that you want to look at. So what are 4 things you want people to admire about you, to come to you and say, I need to go to Wendy's page. I need to go to George's page today because I want to see what they posted. What are those 4 things? And with those 4 things, you're going to then build a content calendar. This is my January calendar. You guys will see I use Canva to build them. It's super easy to utilize that for me. And having this really is helpful for me to know what the next day is going to be. So February's is here, right? I keep them actually printed off, and I can't move my camera to show you guys, but actually let me grab it. So I mean, it is marked up. You know, I print them off. It is marked up. It's got all my Facebook Live topics in advance, the month in advance. They're already there. I already know what I'm going to talk about that month on Facebook Live. And I am going to post those out. So having that content calendar is going to help you on that next day, making sure you know what you're going to post. For me, excuse me, I have the hiccups. For me, I bucket load. I load my stuff well in advance. All of February is already done for me, except the Facebook Lives, because obviously I can't schedule those to post out. I need to do them live. Um, so outside of those, everything is done almost a month in advance for me because I have a content calendar. And having that content calendar helps me to continue to move through and know what is going to be posted out. Where do I get my information? I've taken a slew of trainings, so I have stuff that I've just saved. I've got apps that have inspirational quotes. I follow very influential entrepreneurs, so I reuse their tips, their marketing tips. Right? I'm working smarter, not harder. So I'm utilizing the tools that I have at my fingertips to go ahead and help myself, help those that are following me, and build my business. You will see there is a cadence that I have, right? Because I said 4 buckets. 4 buckets. You want those 4 buckets. You can go more than that. I would never suggest going more than 6 buckets because you want to be able to stay consistent. As you see, it is very consistent how I do this. What are my Saturdays? Saturdays are product posts. A lot of times, you guys, I go to Three's Instagram page, I download what they've posted out, and I reshare it. It's as easy as that. I use a tool and do that for them. So I go through and there's a rotation here. I have no issues. Again, like I shared the DMO, I can share with you guys my February calendar so that you can see kind of, you may, again, what is for me may not be for you. But once you build those buckets and you know what it is that your audience needs to hear from you or why they come to you, you can build those in. I definitely would suggest making sure you go live on Facebook twice a week if you can. I think it's a really good tool to utilize. Whether people come on or not your Facebook Live, you continue to go. I know George and Adrian have taught so many of us when we're getting ready to do a presentation, if people don't show up, guess what? You still do it. You still do the presentation. You go through, it helps you get used to doing it. Some days I have a lot of people on my Facebook Lives. Some days I have none, but it stays there. I post mine. I leave it posted for 30 days so people can go through and do it. Marketing tips. Yes, I have examples of marketing tips. I have a Google Drive. I'll come back to that, Irene. Let me get through this. Sorry, I'm now scattering myself by looking at the chat. So as you'll see, there's a cadence with these. So I will share this and you can fill those in. But again, I would definitely highly suggest making sure that you do Facebook Live once or twice a week so people can see you. You're authentic, you're true, you're a real person, you're there. Fumble through it. I mess up all the time. It's never a straightforward Facebook Live. And I use ChatGPT a lot to help me build my content for that Facebook Live, my bullet points that I want to hit so I can try and stay. So I've got 2 screens going at the same time. So I'll have my chat GPT behind it with that outline of touch points that I want to hit. Again, like Adrian said, don't be a fool, use tools, like I'm using chat GPT. It helps keep me on track. And you definitely, we're here to build a business, right? So if we're here to build a business, we've got to put business stuff in there. So you can sprinkle it in your content. I do more product and business stuff, definitely in my stories. You'll see those more than you will on my actual feed, right? So my feed, it's the once a week, it's Saturdays is that. But throughout the week, I'm definitely using it. I'm also using my products in a lot of things, right? So like some days on a Facebook Live, I'm going to sit there and take an Eternal while I'm doing it, right? curiosity. What is she drinking while she's, going through this? I've got, my products are posted, I've got it displayed here. What's that stuff in the background, Tasha? So there's intention with it. So whether or not it's about the business, so usually business stuff is somewhere around everything when I'm going live for sure. So yeah, so Saturdays are definitely my product days. And again, I reuse three stuff. If it's something like I can't quickly think of, then I'm going to reuse three stuff because again, as you guys saw, when I time block, I really only give myself an hour to 2 hours a day outside of everything I have going on to build my business. So I really need to utilize what's out there. And again, like I said, I follow a lot of really influential people and I will screenshot things like, oh, that spoke to me, so I bet it'll speak to someone else. So yeah, so I definitely scroll and I utilize that. And that's kind of in my personal development, as you guys see on my DMO. If I'm not reading a book or whatever, I will, I'll scroll through specifically. So I utilize my time correctly, specifically through those influential people to see if there's things there. All right. Awesome. So that is my calendar. Again, I can share with you guys my February calendar so you can at least see the cadence or get ideas. But again, it has to speak to you. It has to be your 4 buckets. What are 4 things that you're really good at that you want people to come to you, or people are already coming to you. So take a little time, look back through your feed. What posts got a lot of eyes on them? What posts had a lot of comments? What posts had a lot of likes to it, right? But you've got to really also make sure that in most of your posts, when we're building our content, there's a call to action because we want people to engage. So if this spoke to you, put a fire emoji in the comments. Something as simple as that, right? If you really love this tip of the day and you want to see more like this, comment marketing, so make sure you're throwing that call to action in there so that the work you're doing is beneficial, right? You're getting people to come back because you want people to interact with you. So that's really it on the content calendar piece of what a content calendar is and how to put it together. Again, I use Canva to put mine together. You can use whatever tool you want. I just have a Canva account. But yeah, that's that. And I mean, it's super, for me, simple to explain it, but I also now want to hear your guys' questions. So Irene, I know that you asked for an example of a marketing tip. So let me pull up. So I keep a Google Drive. Another really awesome tool to have is I keep a Google Drive and it's got my buckets in it. So when I see something that I like, because Google Drive's on my iPhone, it's on my computer, it's on my iPad. So wherever I am, if I see something there, then I'm going to slide it into my Google Drive and I'll utilize it again. So let me go ahead into another screen and just pull open my Google Drive for you guys. While I'm doing that, any questions anyone want to unmute? I think that was the only question I saw in the chat.
The other one was, how do you create a call to action? Do you do one with every piece of content?
Yes, 100%, almost, I should say 100%. Mostly every piece has a call to action. I have a goal to make sure there's a call to action with it. And like I said, even if it's a simple, did this speak to you? Put a fire emoji in the comments.
Yeah. Do you ever say specifically like DM me for more info, or how do you add that?
So I do put that in there because, and what I do is I put it on people. I'll say, if you don't feel comfortable commenting, feel free to hop into my DMs. I'm here to help you. Because sometimes people don't want to comment. They're just so worried about what everyone else thinks about them. They're like, God, I really want to ask her about this, but I'm not gonna, I don't want Mary, who also follows her, to see that I want to lose weight or that I need help with my skin. And people get in their own heads, right? And so, hey, pop into my DMs. So yes, I do that, Adrienne.
Yeah, I've seen you do that consistently, always putting a call to action. And that is the purpose of even posting, is you're soliciting to people in a way that is authentic, Like you're in your authenticity doing it. It's just so much more natural. Like you're being yourself, what excites you. Yes, you have these modalities, like you're putting out a marketing tip, you're doing a Facebook Live, but your goal is to be the same as you are in person is the same you want to be online, because people are joining people they know, like, and trust, right? So that's how I always say your avatar is you or better. It's you and who you wish that you were more consistently, right? It's that. So that's who you're going to attract, is who you are or better. And so it's important that you slip in the personal development as well, and that you're being an example of that. Tausha is just so on it, like she's on it, right? So I'm grateful that she's sharing, because I don't even do half of what Tausha does, but I can tell you my inbox is full of messages where even if I put one post out and get like 120 likes on it, every single person that even liked, not even commented, I'm starting a conversation with. So the goal of this is to create conversation, it's to create chatter, it's to go from online to offline as quickly as possible. And so I will DM people. I don't wait for people to DM me. If somebody likes my post, I'll go in and be like, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. Tell me more about yourself. What do you do? Or I'll say, what made you like it? Or, is there anything, or do you have any questions for me? If it's like something that I know that they might have a question about, right? So otherwise we're in the relationship business, and you're using social media, you're turning what would be a cold lead into a warm chatter. And you're turning those people from cold to warm by being relational and just sharing who you are. So the goal is to create curiosity. The goal is to connect with them, right? Not just post a great piece of material, but to connect with them and then get them on a Zoom as quickly as possible, whether that's a one-on-one. I will say this, sometimes I use this line in my DMs. I'll say, we've been chatting for so long. This is so great. When would you have like a quick 6 minutes to jump on a quick phone call? There's something I'd like to share with you. Or I might just say, hey, around what we've been discussing, is it okay if it might be easier if we just jump on a quick 6 minute call? Here's my phone number. What's yours? So that in that private message, you guys are turning that from cold to warm. That's the purpose of doing it that way. And Shannon, you can do it on a page or personal. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah. So I said this in my last training. I've set up pages. I don't use them. So they're just sitting there. I am streamlining everything. I found that I had too much going on just in social media world, that I've started to streamline. Everything's just personal for me. I know some people don't want to share their personal lives with the world, so then maybe you would have a page, but for me, you know what? Everyone sees my kids. Everyone sees me. They see my hockey players, so I do all of mine on my own page, personal. I think it's really dependent on who you are. I believe in simplicity again. I've got a lot that's going on, hence why I am structured the way that I am. And as Adrian can tell you, I'm like a robot. Like it's got to be on my list of to-dos. It's got to be in my calendar. It's not happening. So yeah, personal page for sure. Yeah, Craig, exactly. Make them feel welcome. Just DM me if you're shy, something like that. So you want to do that, and taking it offline, like Adrian said, a lot of times when I get into those conversations, I'm like, for me, it's not, because there's always some screaming child in the background. I'll start with a text message. I'm like, hey, shoot me a text. I'm more responsive via my phone than I am on instant messenger, on Facebook Messenger, on DM. And so I want to make sure that I'm responding to you, right? Like I want to make sure that I'm putting you first, is what I'm telling them, right? So here's my phone number. Shoot me a text. Let's discuss there. Because right, for me, I'm either in the car or something, right? So I can do that through voice text and stuff. So yeah.
One more quick question. It says, how much time do you spend on setting this all up?
So one day a month, I work on my content calendar for the year. So I've already done that. So I did that in January. So as you guys saw, I started to scroll through it, right? So like, because it's a rotation, because I want people to be like, oh, it's Tuesday, Tasha's gonna go live, or oh, it's Friday, she's gonna go live, or I really need that marketing tip. I know Tausha does them on these days, right? So that's why you see this cadence here. But for those I've set them out already, right? It took me like 4 hours probably off and on with kids and everything to go through and pull the information that I need. I hope that helps.
Yeah, well, you
Not
do
4
have a
hours straight, but 4 hours probably in total. The content calendar I get done really fast in a single like 30-minute span now that I know what I'm working on. But
So in other
originally it
words,
took some time.
you set this up once and you duplicate it out for each month, and then
Yep.
their IE goes and shows your consistency in your own content that people can expect and get to know, like, and trust.
Correct.
Yeah, I like that. How many products do you discuss on Saturdays? Like, do you go through the whole line of products, or do you usually feature one?
Nope, it's a post. So sometimes it'll feature multiple. Sometimes it'll be one. It all depends on what I'm feeling like the day that because it's not on a Saturday that I'm doing it, right? On that day that I want to put out for those Saturdays. I do like to make a rotation, so I will make sure that I'm not doing visage, or, eternal. So it really all depends on what I'm feeling like the day that I do that. But I don't go through a presentation or anything like that. It's truly a post. It's usually a reel of some sort, or a post about a product. With a lot of times my kids say, "You use us to make money, mom." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're expensive." So correct. Sometimes it'll be like one of the kids taking like an Eternal or a collagen because they love those, and just a post on the benefits of it. Because I'm a mom, so I want parents to understand these products can be used for your kids too. I hope that helps.
That does help a lot. One of the things I was going to say, there's a difference between making a 100 names list and working social media. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is because, like, we're going through all these posts and everything that Tasha's putting together, the content calendar, and this does become a part of your workload. It becomes a part of your day, but it's not necessarily your daily method.
I can plug it in the car. We
Oops,
have
sorry,
the thing in
Wendy,
there.
you mute her. Okay. So what it does is it's not going to move the needle to create a bunch of content. What will move the needle is once it's out there, right? Once it's out there and you guys are taking action on connecting with those people. So when you put a piece of content out there, you're putting yourself out there, you're branding yourself, and then you're immediately connecting with the people that like or comment. And there's a huge difference, right? So for example, if you make a 100 names list, that's a warm chatter list. Technically, you have those people's phone numbers, oftentimes their emails, and certainly their name. That's a different conversation. You could call Bob today and be like, "Hey, Bob, it's Adrienne. I'm super excited about these products I just found. I'd love for you to take a look. And better yet, I'd love for you to purchase some to support me. And more than that, there's a business opportunity here I'd love to share with you. Would you like to learn more?" That's a different conversation. I can't do that with the cold person on Facebook yet. I have to take a little bit of time, right, to warm chatter with the person online to get them to the point. Now, it doesn't have to take all day. It could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, right? We can get to the point pretty quickly, right? Some of you guys, and Tasha, I don't know if you can go to the team website real quickly for me on your screen. Go to ourlegacymakers.com. Yeah. And then we're going to go to the script. So under business or business training, and you go into the 5-point recruiting system, and then it says connecting and inviting, right? Step 2. Okay, when you guys click in here, it talks about connecting and inviting. It's taking a second. Oh, there you go. That's the real one. Go down to the second one. The second strip. There you go. Or you can just, yeah, either one. Additional recruiting scripts is fine. You can click that. They all lead to the same place. Okay, so if you get in here, the scripts for success, if you scroll down a little bit, go to scripts for life at the top there. Okay, when you open this up, this is what you want opened up. We paid thousands of dollars from a coach, Max Steingart, who teaches people how to connect with cold market. You have to ask the right questions. It's the magic of asking the right questions, right? So you guys want to go in there and you want to ask things like, hey, I want to know more about that collagen. Awesome. Why do you want to know? What do you do? What does that entail? How long have you done it? What did you do before, right? Are you familiar with the network marketing industry? What experience did you have? You want to be like the kid with 1,000 questions, because you're going to have to warm that up and get them to a place. Now, every single one of these is, for a different person. But if you look at the very end question, because you want to be the person with the shortest answer that ends with a question wins the conversation. That's how you get them on a call. But it says, would you be open to looking at another company that didn't have those obstacles, right? Oh, you hate your job? Okay, would you be open to another company that didn't have those obstacles? We're doing an online presentation tonight with my business partner, Christine Peterson. She's earned, millions of dollars in this side hustle business online. Would you be able to jump on for a quick 30 minutes and join us? Yes, no, maybe so, right? You guys need to be a little bit more black and white when you're online and you're asking the right questions to get them to an end goal, which is looking at a piece of information, connecting to a presentation, or getting on the phone with you. All right, that's what I wanted to share real quick about where those are at. That's good for creating warm chatter online with the content that Tasha's talking about. Okay, Antoinette has a question.
Yes, and so Adrian, thank you, and Tausha. It's so funny because Adrian's got me fired up about this. I'm so excited about it. But Adrian, it was funny on Saturday, we were all talking about this at a meeting. And Glennis, I don't know if she's on here now, but Glennis said to me, "Oh, what constitutes a lead?" Like it was such an aha moment for me because the difference is when you're on social media, you're kind of talking to someone. But just like you said, Adrian, until they're talking back with you and you have a conversation with them where you can get their information, we've decided that's going to be, oh, they can count as a true lead. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. It's just like if I were walking through a store and I'm saying hi to a lot of people and I'm talking to them, but until I get their information, I don't count them as a lead. So it was an aha moment because Adrian layered it for me on Friday, and then Glennis put it to bed on Saturday. So excited about this, Adrian, and thank you for this training.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Tausha, really, she's so organized. We need to do more of these social media trainings because we're all looking at social media going, how can I maximize this and make it worth my time? Tausha just gave you the month formula for that on how you can present content to your audience. So even if you have 100 followers or 5,000 followers, you can still follow her content creation calendar. Even if you did it half of the time, you're still putting out more than you would have before. And then the goal is, yes, you do not have a lead, my friends, unless you have a name, a phone number, and an email. So when you're working online, right, that's the difference between you're making your 100s names list where you could just call Joe today, right? You don't have to wait, versus getting to that point where that person's like, yeah, here's my phone number, here's my email, let's chat. I'd love to learn more, or I'd love to hear more, or I'd love to talk to you one-on-one. I use a lot of voice messaging on my Facebook Messenger or my social media messenger, and I know Tausha does too, because we want people to hear our intent. We want people to hear our passion and our purpose and not just texting. Oftentimes when they hear your voice, you're taking it to that next level, like as if you were on a Zoom, but you're not yet, or as if you were on the phone. And because people want to move so fast, right? You can have you can have a conversation and back and forth voice message. And I've seen Tausha and I both have done this. We'll close people straight up in Facebook Messenger, not ever having gotten on the phone with them, sending them how to enroll on their own or taking the order right there. Right, Tausha? Like,
Yeah.
so you can
I was
text
just
to
gonna
close, or what
spin
we
off
call
that.
text to close. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna spin right off that, Adrian, with our nurse, right? That back in my hometown. I went to I was doing some text with her, right? But then I popped into voice because I'm like, if it's like more than 3 lines, people aren't reading it. I'm sorry. I'm not reading it, so they're probably not reading it, right? But I went to voice. She came back and she was like, thank you so much. It was so nice to actually hear your voice and know, like, I'm sorry, like, there's a lot of bots out there. She's like, to know that, like, you're a genuine person. And, it was so nice of you to actually take the time and voice message me versus just texting me. I know that it's not a script that you're just sending out. And when she said that, it was another trigger, like, I'm doing something right here when someone says something like that, right? I'm doing something right by voice messaging her. And it was really just, I didn't want to sit there and type forever. I was being lazy in my own self, but also then it just helped her realize how genuine I was with her. So yeah, I try not to use texting back and forth, even look, phones now. Adrian and I voice message each other back and forth all the time, right? Because a text message can get lost in translation too. Like, huh? But when someone says it to you with their voice, you really can understand it. So yeah, there's that too, that piece of it. But yeah, to me, anyone that comes to me, most, I don't know how many people know, but I build mostly cold, right? Adrian has said it a lot, like I build social media, I build cold. I've been in the industry, like, yes, I've got warm new leads that come in, people as I meet them through, my community and stuff like that. But a lot of the way I build is via social media. For me, it is my easiest way to reach more people. It's the easiest way for me to maximize the information I have for people and get it out there. So yeah, there's that. I do want to show real quick because I know Irene had asked in the beginning about a marketing tip. So you guys can see, my screen, right? You see my Google Drive here. So
Yes.
this was my January Google Drive. I've got content. So in this, it's going to be my engagement questions. And this is stuff I can share out, live Facebook topics. I have no issues. This is stuff I got from somewhere else. Again, I'm working smarter. I'm not pulling all of this out of my head. I would love to give myself, all the credit, but it's not. I wish I had time to do that, but marketing tips, right? So like this one I've shared, and you can share them over and over, you guys. So guess what? I share a lot of the same stuff in January. I will share in March. I'll skip a month and I'll reutilize it because that's lost. That is lost down that page of scrolls. It is no longer on my story. I can repurpose it. So here's one, like tips for your Facebook Lives. Pick a topic, make some notes. What did I tell you guys I do for my Facebook Lives? I use ChatGPT with bullet points for me to read, right? Promote your live, let them know what's coming. For me, people know now I go live on Tuesdays and Fridays. Keep it short, 3 to 5 minutes at first, right? So mine are typically under 5 minutes if no one gets on. If people get on, I'm going to engage with them, which then keeps it going and which keeps it popping out, right? When I go live on TikTok every single morning, Monday through Friday. You want to know what I do? I do my makeup. I'm not doing a makeup tutorial, but I'm doing I'm utilizing the time I have, right? I'm looking in a mirror. Here's my phone. I'm doing my makeup. I've met this wonderful gentleman out in Illinois, and we talk almost every morning through TikTok about the weather, about how his wife's doing, his grandkids, and stuff like that. So I'm utilizing that time, but I'm going live, and people know on TikTok now that follow me, she's going to go live every morning when she's doing her makeup, And so being consistent is definitely key, right? And so they know that's coming, but you need to follow up with the viewers too. Like Adrian was saying, if someone likes it, if someone comments on it, I'm going to their messenger. I'm going there. A lot of you have seen, I also have, which is off topic for this, I've got an automated tool that I use. So a lot of you will get a happy birthday from me, like a genuine, it's truly me texting you, but you're then going to get something later in the day. It's just coming from my messenger. It's just coming from an automated tool. Someone the other day they friend requested me from doing this mastermind. They got the automated message. Thanks for your friend request. How are you? What drew you to my page? Just simple things like that. So make sure that you are connecting with folks. I just saw, I think Gladys, you just friend requested me. You'll probably get that later this afternoon, right? You guys got to work smarter, not harder. You got to utilize the tools that are there, but you also got to be consistent and showing up so people know who you are, and utilizing this content calendar is really going to help you with that. That was a rant. I just
So for you real quick, I think we kind of touched on it. It's using scripts, but not sounding scripted. It's finding the balance between using the AI and the tools and the resources and still being yourself, right? Looking at these tips that Tausha just gave you and saying, if I even implement 1 or 2 this week, I'm using a resource, I'm using a tool that's helping me be able to engage better, right? So, just kind of know that whatever level you guys start implementing this, you're doing more than you were before. And so I just want to say, like, you know, Tausha has been doing this for a long time. She's been doing this for a long time. So she's a great resource when it comes to looking at what she's producing and asking herself, could I even do one of those things this week? Right? Oh, I don't have my camera on. I just realized. Also, Tausha, real quick, how long are your lives usually? Like, what do you typically strive for? Is there an amount of time?
Yeah, so I strive for my Facebook lives, I strive for no longer than 5 minutes unless it's super engaging. If it's super engaging and back and forth, I may go like 7, but I want to get off, right? I don't want to keep engaging there. I want to go to Messenger and be like, so I'll end it, right? Hey Mary, I gotta hop off. I gotta go. I usually use my kids as an excuse. I gotta go. Zeke's freaking out downstairs. I gotta go get him. Watch your DMs. We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
What did I just do? I took it from online to still in DMs, right? But guess where that's gonna go? Hey, Mary, I'm so glad we're chatting here. Can I get your phone number? Here's mine. I'm more responsive on text message, and I want to make sure I don't miss your messages.
Mhm.
I just showed Mary how much I care about her, even though I just met her. And I gave her my phone number. And I used to be really skeptical about giving my phone number out. And I used to have like a Google number. Guess what? That was way too much. I don't
Okay.
care.
So, Tausha, I know we're running out of time, but real
Yeah,
quick,
sorry.
how do you create that automated message in your chat?
So I have a tool called Lead Magics.
Okay, how much is that? Is it expensive or what is it?
I have it free from one of my trainings, but I can go grab it and I can put it in chat how much it is. I feel like it's $90 a year. So it's an extension into Google Chrome, but I can get that and put it in Shout for folks.
Yeah. So, and that's probably, I know Tausha really does her research and she likes to get free things whenever she can. So if she pays for it, it's because she sees the need for it. But she is doing a lot. So if you're not doing a lot on social media yet, you do not need to
Don't
purchase
pay for it. Yeah.
right? If you got, and because you can work your DMs on your own until you get to that level where you've got, 100 different messages coming in from 5 different platforms, then probably you're going to need a tool like Lead Magics, right? So kind of know where you're at as you build up and you get started. Otherwise, I always say until you can pay for the tool, you're the tool, right? And that's what's so nice about it, because you're going to create your own content, right? There are people, I know there's lots of people in our team that pay people to produce their content for them, but you guys, that's upwards of $1,000 a month.
Ew, don't do that. If you want to, you can pay me. I'll do it for you. Don't pay someone else. No, I'm just kidding.
So,
Use the
Tausha-
content calendar. You don't need to do that. Spend 4 hours on a Saturday and create your entire month's worth of content.
There you go. And that's exactly why we had this conversation today, is because we know you guys are wanting to mesh the worlds together, right? And we're in network marketing and we look at social media and we go, gosh, we can cast a big net there, but what does that mean? How do I do it? What should it look like? How often should I be on there? How do I get these people to engage and talk to me and not just like something that I put out, right? So this call is recorded, right? You can watch it over and over again. And it is on our YouTube channel right now, the Legacy Makers YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to that yet, please do. All of these recordings are on there. And yeah, so it's important, right? I know Shannon has a DM type thing too that she uses that can help you guys with that. George and I are starting to use it. I gotta get using it. I have the tool. I need to start using it. And isn't that just
Adrian, don't be a fool.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. And you know what's so great is that, we all have, what is this? Oh, okay. Sorry, cancel. Okay. We all have, I got a big pop-up window. I was like, what is this?
I think everyone got it.
Oh, did you? Okay. So what you want to do is, yes, exactly. You just want to have fun. You want to get on there. You want to be yourself. You want to bridge the gap as much as possible, but it's a learning curve. Don't beat yourself up if you're not like figuring out your content calendar or whatever. If it's easier for you to wing it and like go off the cuff, I'd rather you put a story out, because a lot of people see stories. Put a story, because that goes into your DM right away. If you, I like to utilize stories more than I do posts right now. It's just what's easier for me with my schedule. So it's up to you. You get in right where you fit in, we always say, but find a way to utilize this as a tool. Use social media to your advantage. Use AI to your advantage. Use the content calendar to your advantage. And use those scripts, not because you're not going to sound scripted, right? You're just going to use them because I'm always going in there and I'm like, what should I be asking them next? Like, this conversation's going nowhere. We're just like we're just being friendly. Like, I have work to do. I need to get to an end game here. I need to see if they'd be open to taking a look at something, right? That's your goal. So you want to use those scripts for life to get you to an end goal, right? That's why you ask those questions. She might come back and be like, oh, I've got 4 kids and I'm so great and I'm a nurse and da da. Oh my gosh, how long have you been a nurse? Oh, okay, da 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 da. Oh, that's so great. Right. And you're allowing those conversations to take you to an endpoint. And then when you can do lead magics or whatever to help you get the conversation started, you can do that too. If you post stories on Instagram, you can put your old stories into a highlight. Yes, that's true. Very good, Tiffany. Yeah, absolutely. See, and a lot of you guys already are doing a lot of this on a bigger basis. And I would say the emphasis today is what Tasha's teaching you is consistency, how to be consistent with your message and your branding of yourself, right? We brand ourselves first, 3 second, because people only join people they know, like, and trust. That's the purpose of doing that. And then getting these conversations started, turning what could be cold conversations into warm chatter, and getting the phone number, getting the lead. You don't have a lead unless you've got a name, a phone number, and email. Otherwise, you're just having fun chatting online, and that's not an income producing activity. Okay, that's you having just chatting to chat, and we want to chat with
And
the
it gets
person.
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah, and you will, right, Tasha? Sometimes I'll go through a conversation. I'm like, da da da, like skimming the history of the conversation. I'm like, next, like next, right?
Qualify
So
them.
you need to qualify, and that's what those scripts for life are. If they can't get through all those questions, especially that last one, would you be open to taking a look at something, da da da, then you're not qualifying them. And so it's super important that you're getting through that. I can't stress it enough if you can't tell. Okay. All right. So, all right. Any other questions before we jump off? Oh,
Jackie, that's a great one. Introduce yourself.
yeah.
Your first live, make it an introduction. Who are you? What are your likes and interests? And what drives you? Just simplicity there. And in that, guess what you sprinkle? 3. I'm an entrepreneur. Don't try not to. I mean, I here and there will throw out 3 international, but I try not to, right? Because I don't want them to Google. But yeah, who you are, where you are, and what you do. Just go on and make sure you when you're doing a live, make sure you title it, you guys. Don't just go live. You need to put a title because people are going to see that title and that's going to grab them.
You could say something like, let me tell you what happened to me. And then people will be like, what happened to Jackie? But Jackie's just like, I don't know if you guys know this. My name's Jackie. I live XY. Don't give them your address, but like, I live in this town or whatever,
You don't even, you don't, yeah.
Yeah. And then your story is where you were before 3, what happened when you got on 3, and where you see yourself going. That's the CTA, the call to action. Now I see myself building a really big business. Remember, we went through creating your story the other day. It's utilizing that and putting it into video form and putting it online.
Yeah, we have talked about a story at least 10 times in different calls in the morning because it's so darn important because you can use that as a blueprint also for videos and for a lot of stuff that you do online. And it's on the website. And something that I will add when you are talking to somebody, the reason I'm sharing with you is because I know you want to reach blank. Let's do it together.
Oh,
that's
wait.
Why you are sharing with them. That would be then step number 4.
Why you're sharing with them. Yeah. What is the purpose? Like, what do you see in this collaborative effort? Why you're sharing? Real quick, Tiffany, that's a great question. Tasha, do you want to answer that?
Do you need to have a...
Yes.
Yep. I touched on that.
Yes.
Some people, yes is the answer. Yes, George. Yes, you need to have public. So I do have people who aren't supposed to be on Facebook, so they don't have their face and stuff like that on there, right? I live in the Washington, D.C. area, so as you can understand, a lot of government people who cannot, it's just not allowed. So in that aspect, there's ways still to build. It's called faceless building. I could probably touch on that someday too, Adrian, actually.
Yeah.
But again, we want to be personal with people. So my answer is yes, have a public profile. At that point, then you need to just decide what you want to share and what you don't. My true location isn't on there, right? Where I actually live isn't there because I do share my kids. I want people to know I have 4 rambunctious little turds that run around my house all the time, 4 boys that I
Tasha,
coach hockey.
I think this will be powerful real quick because sometimes, you know, like we're talking about stories too for a second. Okay. And you'll watch Tasha's content and you'll see kind of what's going on there. But it's like, how many times have we heard Christine Peterson's story? Her story is her story is her story. That's the power. The power is in the story. It doesn't matter if it's old for you, it's new for them, right? And that's the same thing with your page. You're going to share the story, the story, the story, and you're going to share it in multiple different ways. Tasha shared one time that she has a few sons on the spectrum, and she squirted the Revive in the bottom of their tongue and handed them an Eternal, and all of a sudden they're like singing. Do you want to share that real quick? How you shared that? Sensitive.
Oh, the one on stage, the stage one about Nino. So yes, I have, my oldest is on the spectrum. He has severe ADHD. He also has Tourette's syndrome. The poor kid is just, he's my miracle baby on top of miracle baby, right? He also plays ice hockey, and so he'll fixate on things. He twisted his ankle and he had a tournament that weekend. And he loves playing hockey, and he was so upset thinking he wasn't going to be able to play because he twisted. To him, it was like this huge twist in an ankle. It was a tweak, right? But to him, he fixated on it. I immediately texted Dr. Dan and I said, my kid can't swallow capsules. What can I give him? What can I do? And he said, give him Revive, cut it open, squirt it on his tongue, and give him something behind it for the taste. So I had an Eternal. My kids love Eternal. So I had that ready for him. He actually liked the taste of the turmeric and the blend, which is crazy to me, but whatever. Everyone likes different things. But he then went down into our basement. The kid doesn't sing. And I could hear him singing, like probably 45 minutes, an hour later, I hear the singing downstairs. And I'm like, what? And it's him humming and singing, and he's putting together this Lego thing that he had gotten frustrated with, because, you know, he'll fixate on things, but then that ADHD of his will pull him away too, and then he'll stop doing it, and he had completed it. So not only it just completely changed it for him, it helped his ankle. He was able to play, you know, he was able to play in his tournament. So now he knows, like, if something hurts. So we were at a tournament this weekend. His back was hurting him. He's also an old soul. And so guess what we did? Revive and Eternal. So yeah, I mean, it's just powerful. Part of that story is the PDR. I went to his doctor and I asked her, can he take this? I had already given it to him, but she went and looked it up. And she said, keep giving this to him. It also helps with inflammation in the brain. I cannot treat, diagnose XYZ. Adrian, I never know the right verbiage for that, but
Okay, yeah.
yes. So his doctor wanted him on it actually continuously.
Tasha, that story is so powerful and it never gets old. And there is a mom out there pulling her hair out that wishes her kid could sit down, sing a song, calm down, and put it together a Lego set. I mean, truly. And like, it's just amazing, like how powerful that story is. I don't know if you're watching the chat right now, but it's blowing up. And Tiffany, to answer your question, as far as kids go, yeah, we have to list the federal law says that we have to list that they can't, if you're 12 and under, right, or 12 and up, you can have the products. But here's what I would consider, just for myself as a personal trainer. And again, you ask your medical professional, but go off of their weight. Right. So if they're over 100 pounds, you treat them like as an adult. If they're under 100 pounds, you would half the amount. Just like you with anything else.
When I did this with him, gosh, it was years ago. So he's 10 now. I bet he was 6, 7 years old when we did this.
Yeah. And I mean, it's turmeric. You have to remember too, like what you're doing, like, you know what I mean? Like our products are food. So if they can have food, they can have our product. There's very few interactions that happen. It's mostly us adults are on like 5 to 10 medications. That's who I worry about more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, and even then, are they going through the McDonald's line or could they take some supplements, right? So, you know, just remember that kind of like what you're comparing it to.
I want to.
Yeah, I figure I feed my kids fast food, they can have our products.
Yeah.
One point that Tasha said that was amazing. Keep this in mind. She said she asked the doctor and he looked on the PDR.
Yeah.
How many companies can say that? Think about that.
Right. It's so true. I mean,
Hey,
go ahead. Who's that?
I have real quick a question for Tasha.
Yeah.
When is it true that, let's say if you're going to do a reel or a live, and then you're choosing music from Facebook, you should actually just choose from Facebook. And if you're on Instagram, choose just the Instagram music. Because I heard that keeps you, they like it, Facebook music to Facebook music, Instagram to Instagram music.
So they're all Meta. They're all owned by the same person,
Right.
same company. So when doing a story, I don't use music. Some reels I will use music. Usually my reels though aren't music related. It's actually me sharing something. I go from one to the other. I don't double post. So it's coming from Instagram to Facebook for me. So I'm
Right.
using whatever Instagram has. I've never seen a downgrade in my story. So, or my
Okay.
reels, like it hasn't gone down. It's pretty impactful on both.
Yeah.
So.
Because I heard
Okay.
I heard the
Before they were bought
algorithm.
out- Oh,
What's
go ahead.
that? Oh, I heard the
Before they were bought, yeah, before they were bought out, that was an issue. It's not anymore. So
Okay.
whatever you do on Instagram will roll to Facebook and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be fine. But if you're crossing right out of Meta, so say you're going over to TikTok, utilize TikToks. TikTok will actually take your stuff down if it's not out of there. Or they'll just not put it on the For You page, and we want everything on the For You page for TikTok.
At some point that I'm gonna bring Adrian and I, we were watching a video, a guy that had literally millions upon millions of followers in social media, and he says something interesting. The more natural the videos are, the more people are attracting. When people are putting all these special effects, etc., they are noticing that the follow is going downhill. In other words, the people are the most sophisticated, the one that's suffering with the new algorithm of Facebook.
Yeah, using CapCut and all of that's gonna hurt you. You want to actually, just a tip off that, George, and I know we're going off like what our schedule is today. So like say you're doing something in TikTok, you want to record in TikTok. You very rarely want to record it from somewhere else and then post it to, I'm just talking about TikTok right now. Post it out on TikTok. Wow, I just got real Canadian there. I've been around Canadians all weekend, so my Canadian accent comes out. So yeah, you want to try and make sure you're recording. So if it's Meta, so Instagram or Facebook, make sure you're recording in that. And again, I utilize both and I will cross share, but if I specifically want to get my TikTok following to look at something, I'm recording it in TikTok, and then I'll just double record and post it over to Facebook. But I'm also very diligent on Instagram and Facebook, what I want to put out there, LinkedIn, what I want to put out there, and TikTok. But again, that's because I am so structured. So don't try and do it all. Pick one thing, like Adrian said. So I would tell you guys today, your call to action, build your content calendar for the month of March. That is your call to action after today's call. Build your content calendar for the month of March. What's it look like? Share it out to people.
I agree.
Like you shout, you guys, share the video, share the image and shout. So people can, we all get blockers, right? Like, oh, I can't come up with 4 buckets. Share it out there. I'll put mine out for March.
That's a good idea to put it in shout, you guys, if you want to share your content and shout for inspiration to the team. That's a
We
great.
talked about call to actions, right, in our posts. Let's do a call to action today, and that's get your content calendar created. It can be messy, sloppy, whatever. Share it out. Let us see.
Yeah, whatever you can do. And one thing you lightly touched on, Tausha, and I think you might agree, is pick the platform you're most comfortable using and get consistent with it. It's not like you need to be everywhere. I know that's what you hear, but I think if you can get really good, for example, my Instagram following, not that great. It's just not that great. My Facebook, 7,000 followers. Where do I need to be posting content consistently and posting stories? Facebook. Why? Because those are the people that are going to talk to me. They're the ones that's easy for me to create a conversation with.
Yeah, I agree. And don't try to be too sophisticated with putting so much effects, because the algorithms are going to make you suffer.
Be real. Be who you are. That's all that matters.
Yeah, right. For people that they see all these people, the influencers of the past. I say the past because the present they are not going to be helped with the new algorithm at all. Anyway, sorry, I just
All
wanted
right,
to
you
say
guys,
that.
we are 1 minute to an hour. I think we
Yeah.
had a really
Ready
packed,
for a sunny day.
this is a packed social media content. I'm glad that we talked about this. Like everything perfectly came together for this conversation today. It's been on the team's
It was-
mind. How do I know? Because I hear you, I see you, I hear you, right? I see what you're asking. So I wanted to make sure that we talked about this. Tasha's so great at being organized. I think the most important thing is whatever you guys decide to do with your content calendar, that you get it out there, share it with the team, and then just start doing it, right? You know how sometimes you set a new schedule and then you like try to fight with yourself on it? No, just don't second guess and don't question. Today's topic is blank, right? That kind of a thing. Just get out there and start doing it.
Just
Oh.
one thing a day, you guys. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Adrian?
Yes.
Adrian, can I
Yes.
ask a question? Tasha, last time you gave a class and you used I believe an Excel sheet.
Yes, the daily method of operation.
Yes, for the DMOs. I don't know if you were if you were able to share that with us so that, because I would like to get a copy of it on how you got that all
I
organized.
did. I'll put it back out there today. I'll put
Okay.
it in the E3 team chat. I'll put both the DMO and the my content calendar for March.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you
just
so much.
I'll tag at everyone and then it should alert all of
So my
you.
question is, do I have to create my own or can I just copy yours?
100%. If your buckets match my buckets, copy mine.
I might not even do all of them. I'm just going to use what you put out because I know it works. So
Yeah. Again, you guys work smart, not hard. I don't
Yes.
like, I'm giving you my secret sauce. I'm not a brilliant person that comes up with all of this. I'm a brilliant person who finds brilliant people who come up with all of this and repurpose it. I don't got time for all of that. I've got
You know
four
what?
turds.
It's so great that you said that because every single one of you on here, you guys are all brilliant people that we're collaborating with. And that's the whole point of all of this, is to be able to better each other as a team. And so you guys, this is a lot of fun. Thank you so much for participating. It is, we do love this team. We love you guys. If nobody's told you that today, George and Adrian love you. And we've got a lot of things cooking, right? The team is on fire. Like I said yesterday, we are the fastest growing team in the company, and let's keep the pedal to the metal. Let's keep that, right? We want all oars swinging in this boat. Okay. So, we want to make sure that we keep moving forward and helping every single one of you have the right tools. Don't be a fool, use a tool to move forward. So, all right, Tausha, you're the best. You guys, thank you so much. And
Bye,
we will
everyone.
see you
Thanks.
tomorrow. Nilbert
Bye.
will be on tomorrow. All right, guys, we'll
See ya.
see you tomorrow.
Thank you all.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you. Great job, Tausha.